And Iran is firing back at President Trump's threat to pull out of the Obama-era nuclear agreement. The top diplomat in Tehran sending this message to the White House 1 week before the deadline to recertify the deal.
The U.S. has consistently violated the agreement, especially by bullying others from doing business with Iran. We will neither outsource our security, nor will we renegotiate or add on to a deal we have already implemented in good faith.
So what happens now? Joining me now is security expert Ryan Mauro. Ryan, thank you very much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So not entirely unexpected. Iran not happy about this, potentially the U.S. pulling out and saying that they're not going to play games.
What else is new? The Iranian regime is whining again. I mean, that's really what they're doing here. What their strategy is that they hope to make hundreds of billions of dollars from oil deals and other deals with international companies all around the world, and they realize that that's now not going to happen because even though the deal did happen, you've got President Trump in there now, and you've especially got Pompeo and Bolton in there, and they have their eye on stopping the Iranian nuclear program altogether, their state sponsorship of terrorism, and maybe even killing the Iranian Islamic Revolution altogether. So it's really not the fault of the United States that businesses don't want to enter into contracts with the leading state sponsor of terrorism.
But at the same time, we have the UN, we have our European allies all saying, you know, telling President Trump and his administration to stay in the deal.
They are, but at the same time, they are also saying that they want to have additional demands, basically a supplemental agreement to the current deal. And so I don't think there's as much distance between the United States and Europe as it appears. And I think behind the bluster, you see a lot of fear on the part of the Iranian regime, especially when they look at North Korea, because they know North Korea knows a lot of their nuclear secrets. And if North Korea is running scared, then the Iranian regime sure should be as well.
Yeah, and in reference to that, no doubt, North Korea watching what's happening with the Iranian deal and how that's being handled. No doubt they were listening to Benjamin Netanyahu the other day when he came out and he talked about, you know, the spies that went in. They were able to bring out all of this information that actually confirmed that they were not, in fact, following through on the deal. What do you think they're thinking about all this?
I think they're trying to figure out what their next move is because they don't have many good options. If they don't try to renegotiate the deal, even as angry as they are, then they could get sanctioned, and they're very vulnerable to international sanctions, even if people start trying to blame Trump for whatever type of diplomatic conflict arises, or they can make a mad dash towards nuclear weapons with a very bad result for them, especially because now they have to realize that the Israelis and presumably the Americans and others have penetrated the most coveted secrets of the Iranian regime. They have to look over their shoulders and say, I've probably got a spy behind me watching me right now.
It really was amazing, but to listen to them, they're not backing down. This is what a top Iranian diplomat had to say, taunting President Trump. He said, to put it in real estate terms, when you buy a house and you move your family in it or demolish it to build a skyscraper, you cannot come back 2 years later and renegotiate the price. So basically they're saying we're not following through on the terms when, you know, Israel just has proof that they're not following through on the terms, which we suspected all along.
Right. It's typical propaganda, and it's really a lame attempt from the Iranian regime to try to engage in witty banter because these type of one-liners is how diplomacy happens nowadays, and they're really bad at it. And they're also trying to be tough because that's what's worked for them in the past. It's not going to work anymore, but they're trying to figure out what are we going to do now that we've been exposed essentially as weak clowns, with all due respect to clowns.
Yeah.
I mean, they are a threat. The Iranian regime is a threat, but let's not overestimate it, and let's appreciate our position of strength right now.
Absolutely, as North Korea seems to be doing with the potential release of these 3 hostages going on right now. So, Ryan, thank you very much. Got our eyes on a lot of things developing overseas. Thank you.
Thank you.